Hello everyone, I'm Tin Starfish. I'm feeling a little lazy today, so I'm gonna let robots and advanced engineering decide the fate of my builds. Using DALL-E Mini by Crayon, I can harness the power of AI, and DALL-E will produce any image I want from any prompt I want. So we can type something like Mona Lisa in Minecraft, and just let it run for a while. And we end up getting some pretty amusing results. So I'm gonna use this incredibly advanced technology to make cool looking builds in Minecraft. Let's jump in. So I think we'll start off pretty simple. I think I'm just gonna go with Minecraft building. And hopefully we can get some pretty cool results. So immediately we get some interesting builds, to say the least. A few of these I think could actually be possible in Minecraft. This one maybe not so much. It's basically a circle in Minecraft. And this one looks like there's just a bunch of sheep piled up in front of it. I think out of all of them, the one in the bottom left seems the most interesting to build, so I think I'm gonna go with that one. So I'm just gonna explore the world a little bit here. This is a newly generated world. And I'm thinking this area over here where all these horses are would be a pretty good place to start the build. It looks like this build uses a lot of spruce, so I think I'm just going to grab most of the spruce pieces. Definitely going to need some glass. It looks to be light gray, possibly. It's a little hard to tell. And some smooth stone slabs. The build appears to be about 15 blocks wide. It is really hard to tell. And there's some really weird warping on the sides, so I'm just gonna assume it's a square. And something I didn't really notice is that it appears to be standing on like 2 or 3 blocks of dirt. So I think I'll go 3 blocks in, something like that, and just fill this square out. And just go ahead and fill the top in. Now the front little piece here, I think that's a staircase. It's going to need a little bit of an artist interpretation on this. So we'll go a little something like this maybe. Yeah, I think that could look good. Maybe. And now it has like a ring of these smooth stone slabs around the outside. And you know what? I just realized I messed up the dimensions a little bit. I think this middle platform is actually 15 wide. And then the outer border is like 19 or 17. It's really hard to tell from this image. Alright, and here's how we're looking now. I think we're getting really close to sort of the base design of this. Next I need to start on the actual building itself. And it looks like there's sort of maybe fences here. It might be full logs, but it's really hard to tell. And we'll go ahead and place spruce logs here. Sort of like this. Yeah, I think that can look good. And it looks like these go up about 8 or 9. Might look a little tall, but we'll go for it. And then just in between these, we're going to place some glass. Now, it's hard to tell what's exactly going on in the back, but I'm just going to assume that it repeats the pattern pretty much exactly. And a little bit of an update. This is how we're looking so far. I just went ahead and replaced the ground with some water here, because that's what it looks like on the ground. It could be blue glass. It's really hard to tell. But I also just want to place some water here and here. Because in the image itself, it looks like the water kind of goes up a little bit, so yeah, maybe this is where the water is pouring out from? Maybe? Maybe I'm trying to bring logic into something that's not very logical. And now the last thing I want to tackle is this roof. Now, in the image, it's actually kind of curved. So I'm wondering if we just use slabs, we can maybe somehow possibly make it look like it's curved? Maybe. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. but now I'll just have to duplicate it over to the other side. And now I'm just getting started on the middle part of the roof. Just realized these are probably one block out too far. And there's also these really weird structures on the sides. So I'm just going to try to replicate that. They're pretty amorphous, so I'm just going to use a little bit of artist's interpretation on that. And yeah, I think it's looking pretty good so far. Now I just need the sort of large structures that go up on the sides here. And here we go. This is probably as close as I'm going to get to a finalized version of this. I think it turned out pretty good. It sort of looks like a corporate Krusty Krab, if you can sort of envision that. Next, I kind of want to see how it looks without shaders. Yeah, you know what? I think we got pretty close, actually. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So let's head back to Dolly to generate a new build. Alright, Dolly, after that build, I'm feeling like I need a little bit of a vacation. So let's go for Minecraft Beach House. Alright, and it looks like we have some pretty cool contenders. Now, a few of these are pretty much impossible, especially this one. It has an actual curve in it. And same with the one on the bottom middle. I think the one I want to go with is actually this one on the middle on the right. It looks pretty cool. It has a sort of outdoor pool area, even though it's going to be a beach house. And it's also two stories tall, which will be pretty cool looking, I think. Alright, just gathering up some building materials. It looks sort of like the pool is made out of clay, or maybe stone. It's hard to tell. I think I'm going to go with clay because I've never really used it as just a building block. It also looks like it uses jungle wood for the sort of parts that go up and down. And then it looks like regular oak on the rest of it. So I think I'll put the pool area here on the edge of the water. I'm gonna build it about 9 blocks wide, it looks like. So it'll end up looking a little something like that. And now to get started on the build itself. It looks like it actually starts with a pole in the middle here. That goes all the way up to the second floor. And I'll have the actual building itself start here on the edge of the pool. And I'm not exactly sure how big the build itself is going to be, but that should be good enough for now. And it looks like the wall facing the pool is pretty much just solid glass. I think I'm going to add a door here though, just to have sort of a way directly into the pool. And there's sort of a deck that comes out, and it appears to be sort of rounded, so I'll go something like this. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty accurate so far. And I basically want to duplicate this wall up on the second floor. And the shape of this roof is absolutely crazy, so I'm going to use a little bit of artist's interpretation for this. So I think I'm going to go with upside down stairs around the edge here. And sort of coming out sort of like that. And the right side of this build is even more hard to interpret. I think it has sort of like a chunk that sticks all the way out here. It's gonna look a little bit weird. Alright, I think I did okay with the right side of the roof here. This shape is so hard to interpret. I think it actually goes a little bit further in the image, but yeah, it's already looking pretty ridiculous, so I think this is good for now. And there's the left side of the roof. Again, this roof is really ridiculous looking. It almost looks like a boat floating up there, but yeah. And a little bit more detail work on the upper deck here. I think these are supposed to be spruce fences. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And I've just gone ahead and added the interior floors. And now I'm going to add the walls. And I think there's a few bits of detail I actually missed on this side. There appears to be another deck. So I'll just go ahead and extend it out like that. And it appears to be being held up by carpets, I think. So I'm just gonna place some string down and place some carpets here. Yeah, that'll act as like a little bit of a balcony, I guess. I don't know, this build is so weird. Honestly, I'm kind of digging that. It looks pretty good. Wow, I never would have like thought about doing that. That's pretty unique. You know, I was a little iffy at first, but honestly, I think I'd like to live here someday. Alright, and after adding a little bit more detail, here is the finalized version of the build. I think it actually turned out pretty close to the original, surprisingly. There was some weird things in the pool on the actual image itself, so I just put a like a sunbathing pad thingy. I'm not sure what they're actually called, the floaty thingy in the pool to kind of represent that. I even added a sugarcane patch and some bushes off to the left side. And now taking a look without any shaders or texture packs, this is what we have. Yeah, I think it's actually really close. There is a few things here and there that I might change, but yeah, I think I would consider that done. Alright, I think we'll head back to DALL-E now to generate one last build. Okay, here we are, and I think the last build I want to do is a farmhouse. So let's go ahead and run DALL-E and generate our last build. Alright, we have a good selection of contenders. A few of these look a little impossible to build, such as this one. And I don't even know what this one is supposed to be. But flipping through these, I think this one is probably the best one, and yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. So the build palette for this is actually kind of interesting. It appears to be using either calcite or maybe that's birch logs for the sort of middle parts. But on the top, you can kind of see that the roof is made out of leaves, it looks like. So yeah, I'm gonna have fun trying to build that. So the actual build direction of this building is actually pretty simple. So we're just gonna go oak log, 3 calcite, oak log, 3 calcite, etc. And we'll go up by about 7, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's looking a little short, so I'm gonna go up 2 more. And I'll just go ahead and fill the walls in, but leave a space for a window. And it looks like this part of the roof actually sort of comes out by 1, so I'm just gonna sort of split the wall just like that. And the roof will be a little bit more rounded. And we can go ahead and place down some leaves all around the outside. We're basically using the leaves instead of basically any sort of roof tile piece that we would usually use. Yeah, it'll look a little something like that. It kind of looks interesting. I'm not sure how this will turn out. Now I'm gonna get started bringing the build back just a little bit. It's hard to see exactly from the image how far back it goes, but I'm gonna go with 2 sections. And then continue it off to the right side here, just a little bit more. And now I'm just gonna be bringing the edge of this all the way up. I think about there should look good. And actually it looks like it comes all the way up to the 2nd floor, so I've just copied it up just by a little bit more. And last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the roof. And here's the build so far with the roof in place. The leaves actually turned out really well. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm using the sort of more 3D version of the leaves, but yeah, it gives it like a really nice rustic vibe. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up by adding a few more details. And here we are with the finalized farmhouse. I think overall it turned out really well. In the actual picture itself, there was these sort of lines across the windows, so I just sort of interpreted those as sort of like blinds that go over the window. kind of weird, but honestly it doesn't look too bad. And then of course I just went ahead and added some leaves and other plants in front of the windows to sort of make it feel a little bit more grounded. Now let's take a look at it without any shaders or texture packs. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Now I think it was probably intended to use birch instead of calcite, because there's these like sort of black dots all over the image, but honestly I think calcite looks really good here. It does look a little bit dull without a texture pack, but yeah, it turned out really well. So that was the final build of this video. Leave a like if you guys want to see more of this kind of content, sort of more one-off videos. This was definitely a fun project to work on, and definitely a fun thought experiment. I definitely think that the AI itself has really good potential for, coming up with some interesting builds. I especially like the leaves on this last build that I did. And I also just quickly wanted to say thank you guys for 3,000 subscribers. We just hit that goal today, so yeah, I'm super happy, and that's kind of why I decided to make this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.